And after that, I decided to become a movie star. My legend is...
Peter Dinklage is an American actor and film producer who has many outstanding works in his portfolio. The actor destroyed all stereotypes about appearance and achieved fame not because of his condition, but as a result of hard work and perseverance. In this video, we will tell you about the life of a small actor with a huge talent. Peter Dinklage, how Tyrion from Game of Thrones lives and how much he earns. Peter Hayden Dinklage was born on June 11, 1969 in Morristown, New Jersey, in an ordinary family. His mother, Diane, worked as a music teacher in elementary school, and his father, John Carl, was an insurance agent, but he was out of work for several months a year. The actor has German, Irish, and English blood in his veins. At the time of Peter's birth, the family was already raising a son, Jonathan. In early childhood, the future actor was diagnosed with a rare gene mutation, achondroplasia. This is a type of dwarfism in which the growth of limbs slows down. Although the head and body develop according to the norm, it is noteworthy that only Peter was diagnosed with this condition. The rest of the family members are absolutely healthy. At the age of 5, the boy underwent surgery to straighten his legs, but doctors couldn't do more. In adolescence, Dinklage's height stopped at 4 feet 5 inches, while his weight was 77 pounds. Peter attended the Del Barton Catholic School for Boys. Because of his appearance, he was often bullied by his peers, and because of that, he became hot-tempered and unsociable. In an interview, Dinklage admitted that he managed to cope with the pressure of society thanks to his family, who taught him to accept himself. With age, the boy began to treat his condition with humor, which added to his confidence. In the 5th grade, Peter played the main role in the school production of The Velveteen Rabbit and received such a storm of applause that he decided to become an actor. After that, he participated in many productions until graduation. In his spare time, Dinklage developed his talent by performing puppet shows for neighbors with his older brother. By the way, Jonathan also had good acting skills, but his love for music prevailed, and he became a professional violinist. An interesting fact is that Bruce Springsteen's manager lived next door to the Dinklages. The famous musician often rehearsed there, and according to Peter's family, it was loud and they didn't like it at all. After graduating from high school in 1987, the actor enrolled at the Bennington Theatre College in Vermont, where he chose to major in playwriting. There, the guy proved himself as a talented and hardworking student, as well as a wonderful friend. Peter spent his extracurricular time, like all ordinary students, at loud parties with alcohol and music. He even performed with his own punk band, Wizzy, where he played trumpet and was one of the singers. In memory of his carefree youth, Dinklage has a noticeable scar along his face, which he received during one of his concerts, jumping on stage. In 1991, the young man graduated from college. After that, he and his best friend Ian Bell went to New York, where they planned to open a theater company. The guys didn't have much money, so they rented a cheap apartment in Brooklyn with a horde of rats and no heating. For a long time, Peter couldn't find a job, theater groups didn't hire him, and movie producers only offered him to play leprechauns or gnomes. He refused to take them on principle, since most of them mocked people with dwarfism. After numerous casting failures, Dinklage got a job at a data processing company, but the money he earned was barely enough to pay the rent. Peter admitted that at that time he could often afford only a pack of chips a day. In the end, the guys were evicted for non-payment, after which Peter had to ask friends for a place to stay. Soon Dinklage got lucky and received a role in an independent movie. In 1995, the aspiring actor made his screen debut in the comedy drama Living in Oblivion, where his partner on the set was Steve Buscemi, who became his good friend.
Do you know anyone who's had a dream with a dwarf in it? No! I don't even have dreams with dwarves in them. The only place I've seen dwarves in dreams is in stupid movies like this.
In the film, Peter actually played himself, an actor who, due to dwarfism, is offered only stereotypical roles. However, despite the fact that Dinklage's acting received high reviews from critics, he couldn't find an agent. In 1996, Peter starred in Mickey Rourke's action movie Bullet, but was not even listed in the official credits. In subsequent years, he only received minor roles in low-budget films, among which the most notable were Safe Men, Human Nature, Just a Kiss, 13 Moons, and the TV series Third Watch. In 2003, Dinklage appeared in the drama The Station Agent, where he was cast as a reclusive dwarf, doomed to endless ridicule by others.
Really angry?
About what?
Being a dwarf.
This role was a real breakthrough in his career and brought him many nominations for film awards, including the Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor in a Leading Role. In the same year, the actor starred in the Christmas comedy film Elf and in the drama Tiptoes, where his partners on the set were Gary Oldman, Matthew McConaughey, and Kate Beckinsale. Peter also appeared on the stage of the New York Public Theater, playing the titular role in Shakespeare's Richard III, which was his longtime dream. Subsequently, Dinklage performed in many more plays. His love of the theater played a crucial role in the actor's personal life. Back in the late 90s, he met a theater director, Erica Schmidt, and a strong friendship arose between the young people based on mutual interest in dramatic art. And over the years, it turned into love. In 2004, Peter proposed to his beloved, and a year later, the couple had a modest wedding. In 2005, Dinklage starred in the TV series Life as We Know It and Entourage, the drama The Baxter, the comedy Surviving Eden, and in the drama Lassie, where he played an artist of a traveling circus. Then his filmography was replenished with the TV series Threshold and Nip Tuck, the romantic fantasy Penelope, and the crime drama Find Me Guilty, which also starred Vin Diesel. Despite the fact that the film failed at the box office, Peter's acting received high reviews from critics. In 2007, Dinklage played a mad scientist in the family fantasy Underdog, and also starred in the British comedy Death at a Funeral as Peter, who appears at a funeral ceremony and declares that he was the lover of the deceased, demanding money from his relatives for silence.
How do you think that makes me feel? No, I'll tell you how that makes me feel. Cheap. Like a cheap slut. Don't you think I deserve something?
The film became so popular that 3 years later, they made an American remake where Peter again played the same character, only with a different cast. In 2008, the actor appeared in the movie Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian, where he played the dwarf Trumpkin. After the release of the film, critics unanimously stated that Dinklage failed to eliminate the stereotypical image, and he himself considered participation in this project a great disappointment. Then Peter's filmography was replenished with such works as the sitcom 30 Rock, the drama St. John of Las Vegas, the drama I Love You Too, the thriller The Last Rites of Ransom Pride, and the dark comedy Pete Smalls is Dead, where the man also acted as an executive producer. In 2011, Dinklage appeared in the romantic comedy drama A Little Bit of Heaven, as well as in the acclaimed series Game of Thrones, based on the series of novels A Song of Ice and Fire by George Martin.
What you see is a dwarf. If I had been born a peasant, they might have left me out in the woods to die. Alas, I was born a Lannister of Casterly Rock. Things are expected of me.
It is noteworthy that Peter became the first approved actor who didn't even participate in the casting. In the series, Peter played Tyrion Lannister, nicknamed the Imp, who led a rampant lifestyle. After the premiere of the first season, Dinklage's photo appeared on the cover of Rolling Stones. Playboy magazine called him a sexy man, and GQ awarded him the title of Stud of the Year 2011. The actor himself is skeptical about these titles, as he doesn't believe that in reality, women will be interested in people with dwarfism. Subsequently, Peter starred in 7 more seasons of Game of Thrones, until 2019. In an interview, he admitted that when he got his hands on the script, he started reading it from the end to make sure that his character would live to see the last episode. At the same time, with each season, the popularity of his character only increased, and eventually he took second place in the ranking of the best characters of the series, second only to his on-screen sister, Cersei.
At some point, I want to hear how a Night's Watch recruit became King in the North.
As long as you tell me how a Lannister became hand to Daenerys Targaryen.
Long and bloody tale. To be honest, I was drunk for most of it.
By the way, Lena Headey, who played Cersei, is a longtime friend of Peter, and he advised the directors to invite her to the role. It's worth mentioning that among the actors of the series, Peter received the largest number of awards: 4 Emmys, a Golden Globe Award, a Saturn Award, and a Screen Actors Guild Award. And the New York Times called Peter Dinklage one of the 8 actors who turned television into art. Game of Thrones has become the most successful HBO project of all time, as well as the most expensive in the fantasy genre. According to some reports, Peter's fee per episode was $150,000 in the first 2 seasons, $300,000 in the 3rd and 4th seasons, $500,000 in the 5th and 6th seasons, and the last season brought him $1.1 million per episode. Thus, Dinklage's total income from filming in the series exceeded $30 million. In between Game of Thrones seasons, the actor participated in other projects, voicing cartoon characters Scrat's Continental Crack-Up Part 2, Ice Age Continental Drift, Rick and Morty, and Angry Birds Movie 2. He also voiced Tyrion in the video game based on the series. In addition, Peter appeared in several films. In 2013, his filmography was replenished with the drama A Case of You and the comedy Knights of Badassdom. And in 2014, he appeared in the dramas Lowdown and The Angriest Man in Brooklyn, as well as the fantastic action movie X-Men: Days of Future Past, where he played the evil scientist Boulevard Trask.
By the time you see the need for my program, it'll be too late. And you will have lost 2 wars in 1 lifetime.
It's worth noting that Dinklage wanted to star in this film so much that he agreed to the role without even reading the script. His acting received high reviews from critics, and he himself was nominated for the MTV Channel Award for Best Villain. In 2015, Peter starred in the drama Taxi and in the fantastic comedy Pixels, which was criticized and was nominated for the Golden Raspberry Anti Award. In 2016, Dinklage, together with his business partner David Ginsburg, founded a film production company, Estuary Films. In the same year, his filmography was replenished with the comedy The Boss, and in the following year, he appeared in the detective Rememory, the dramas 3 Christs and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, starring Frances McDormand and Woody Harrelson.
You 2 boyfriend and girlfriend?
Early stages, you know?
Is that right?
We had a couple dates.
The latter picture received high reviews from critics, and the creators, along with the actors, received many awards, including 2 Oscars and 4 Golden Globes. Despite the fact that Peter himself didn't receive anything for his role, the audience noted his image as one of the most memorable. In 2018, the actor played the main role in the fantastic drama I Think We're Alone Now, and in the biographical film My Dinner with Hervé, which tells about the last days of the French actor Hervé Villechaize.
Being famous is like being drunk, except the whole world is drunk with you.
By the way, in both films, Peter was also a producer. In the same year, Dinklage appeared as a giant dwarf in the superhero movie Avengers: Infinity War, which became one of the highest-grossing films in history.
What happened here?
You were supposed to protect us. Asgard was supposed to protect us!
Asgard is destroyed.
In 2019, Peter played a cameo role in the comedy Between Two Ferns, the movie, and next year he starred in the thriller I Care a Lot. He also voiced one of the characters of the cartoon The Croods: A New Age. In 2021, Dinklage appeared in the title role in the musical Cyrano, based on the plot of the stage play of the same name, the script of which was written by his wife.
Freak.
Is that it? Have you exhausted your dictionary of scorn?
Interestingly enough, he literally begged Erica to choose him for this role, as he dreamed of singing on stage. However, unlike the original work, the disadvantage of the main character is not a huge nose, but a small stature. For his brilliant performance in the musical, Peter was nominated for a Golden Globe. Now Peter's acting career is still on the rise. In the summer of 2022, the comedy American Dreamer premiered. Also, the filming of the movies She Came to Me, The Toxic Avenger, and Brothers has already been completed. And The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and Hit Pig are at the stage of filming. To date, Dinklage's fortune is estimated at $25 million, which includes film royalties and advertising contracts. In 2017, Peter starred in an advertising short film of the beer brand Estrella Damm, and in 2018, he rapped in a commercial for Doritos and Mountain Dew with Morgan Freeman. The actor also advertised Cisco's The Network Intuitive. The funny thing is that Dinklage, having become famous, signed such a serious contract, because at the beginning of his career, he was only offered the role of elves in Christmas advertising, which he refused. The celebrity carefully hides his personal life from the public. Peter doesn't have social media accounts and is very angry when paparazzi are watching his family. The media learned that in December 2011, his wife gave birth to his daughter, whose name they don't disclose, and in September 2017, another child appeared in the family, whose gender and name are also unknown. According to some reports, the children don't inherit their father's condition. Dinklage and his family lived in Manhattan for a long time, where he could often be seen walking his dog or riding a scooter. A few years ago, the couple moved to a country house with a huge garden, which Peter enjoys taking care of. But all this remained hidden from the cameras and the prying eyes of fans. The actor owns a Chrysler 300, which was designed specifically for his condition. For obvious reasons, he also orders custom-made outfits or buys clothes in children's stores. Dinklage has been a vegetarian since the age of 16. When he needed to eat meat on the set of Game of Thrones, instead of real meat, they used tofu or just fake food. Peter is also a member of several animal rights organizations. One, he voiced the video Face Your Food on behalf of PETA, promoting eating vegan food for ethical reasons. The actor was repeatedly asked if he, as a celebrity, wanted to represent the interests of people with dwarfism. Dinklage replied that even now, he doesn't always manage to put up with his condition. So it would be hypocritical to try to help people cope with something that he can't cope with himself. However, he still took advantage of his popularity to draw attention to one incident. In 2012, in his speech at the Golden Globe ceremony, he mentioned the actor with dwarfism, Martin Henderson, who was thrown by a drunk rugby player at a New Zealand bar. As a result of the fall, Henderson suffered spinal damage and eventually died of his injuries in 2016. Peter became world famous after the release of Game of Thrones, but his filmography is full of other outstanding works. What movie with Peter Dinklage do you like the most? Antonio Banderas. Where is the main macho man of Hollywood now? The real name of the actor is Jose Antonio Dominguez Bandera. He was born on August 10, 1960, in the city of Malaga, located in the south of Spain. His father, Jose Dominguez Prieto, was an officer in the Spanish Civil Guard, and his mother, Ana Bandera Gallego, worked as a school teacher. The actor has a younger brother, Francisco Javier. Young Antonio didn't show much interest in studying. He was fond of soccer and planned to become a professional athlete. However, due to a broken leg, the young man had to give up his dream. At the age of 14, Antonio and his friends attended a theatrical production of Hair, the story of lovers, which unfolds during the Vietnam War and the active development of the hippie movement, struck Antonio to the very heart. He decided to try acting on the stage. Antonio began his studies and became a member of the City Theater group. It should be noted that the actor used the stage name Antonio Abascal at first, and then he took his mother's surname as a stage name, adding the letter S at the end. Antonio showed remarkable zeal in acting, but almost no one actually took his passion seriously. When the future actor was 16 years old, he entered the School of Dramatic Art in Malaga and joined one of the city's theater groups. After graduating from the school, Antonio went to Madrid to develop as an actor. There, the young man worked as a waiter, a loader, and even as a model until he achieved inclusion in the troupe of the National Theater. During the same period, Antonio took part in the cultural movement La Movida Madrilena, which translates as the Madrid Movement. He took part in its experimental productions and performances. Banderas was noticed by one of the brightest representatives of this movement, Pedro Almodovar, who invited him to star in his movie Labyrinth of Passion. The young actor got the role of the Islamic radical who was in love with a homosexual Muslim prince. By the way, Antonio's first fee was about 100,000 pesetas. Cooperation with the director gave an impetus to the development of Banderas' career. He began to actively appear in a large number of Spanish movies. In 1985, another impetus to Banderas' career was given by Almodovar's picture Matador. He plays a young, simple-minded boy who takes responsibility for the murders committed by his mentor. The director doesn't personally consider this movie particularly successful. He was keener on working on the film Law of Desire, in which Banderas played one of the key roles. The collaboration between the actor and the director continued on the set of the movie Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. Antonio continued to work with other directors, not only with Almodovar. During this period, many films were released with his participation. The charming young actor was very popular among women. In 1987, he married the Spanish actress Ana Lessa, whom he met in a restaurant near the theater. Banderas fell deeply in love and the couple soon got married. By the way, Pedro Almodovar was the best man at the wedding. Soon, Ana gave up her career and devoted herself to her husband. She picked his wardrobe, made the casting schedule, and monitored his diet. Unfortunately, the relationship between Antonio and Pedro Almodovar was deteriorating for a long 19 years. The reason for this was the actor's refusal to participate in the filming of Kika. Banderas at this time took aim at Hollywood. His first American movie was the musical drama The Mambo Kings, where he played one of the main roles. For the sake of this picture, the actor put a lot of effort into practicing pronunciation with an English tutor. He spent 6 months filming in the US and fell in love with this country. All of Banderas' successes at home remained at home. Antonio had to conquer the audience anew. Even though the Kings of Mambo didn't quite meet the expectations of the producers, the Spanish macho man was still noticed. In 1993, Antonio appeared in the melodrama The House of Spirits and in the drama Philadelphia with Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington.
What's the matter with you tonight?
Close the logbook.
You just...
Eh?
This picture was highly acclaimed by the critics and viewers, and for Banderas, it became a lucky ticket to Hollywood. In 1994, Banderas starred in the drama Of Love and Shadows and played the minor role of the vampire named Armin in the movie Interview with the Vampire.
Do you know how few vampires have the stamina for immortality?
1995 was a very productive year for the actor. More and more pictures with the actor were playing in the theaters. Together with Sylvester Stallone, he starred in the crime thriller Assassins, then appeared in the comedy 4 Rooms, and played the main roles in the drama Miami Rhapsody and the thriller Never Talk to Strangers. Robert Rodriguez's Western Desperado attracted attention from critics and the audience.
I'm looking for a man who calls himself Bucho. That's all. But you had to do it the hard way.
The role is considered one of the best works by Banderas in the 90s, and The Kiss by Banderas and his co-star Salma Hayek was nominated for the MTV Movie Award for Best Kiss. By the way, the whole film crew gathered at the shooting of the bedroom scene with the main characters, but eventually only the director and script supervisor could stay in the room. It should be noted that Banderas also showed himself as a musician on the set of the picture. The actor played the guitar in all the scenes where this was required of his character. But the next picture, the comedy Too Much, did not receive such rave reviews, but became special for the actor. On the set, he met Melanie Griffith. They were both married. Melanie was married to Don Johnson, and Antonio was still married to Anna, although by that time, their relationship had cooled down somewhat. He was actively filming in the United States, and his wife preferred to live in Spain. After working together, the actors sometimes met with each other, and Banderas realized that he had fallen in love. He appeared at a social event together with Melanie. When Anna found out about this, she flew to the United States and found Antonio together with Melanie. They failed to improve the relationship, so the divorce proceedings began. But Anna didn't want to divorce her husband. However, when Antonio and Melanie arrived at the actor's homeland, they were received coldly not only by Banderas' ex-wife and parents, but also by the local media, which presented Melanie as a homewrecker. One way or another, on May 14, 1996 in London, Antonio married Melody, and a little later, in September of the same year, their daughter Stella del Carmen Banderas Griffiths was born. By the way, Antonio managed to improve relations with Melanie's daughter from her previous marriage, Dakota Johnson. The married couple had long been considered exemplary. For the sake of her husband, the actress overcame alcohol and drug addiction, and Banderas supported his woman in all endeavors. He tried to dissuade her from plastic surgery and seemed to be an exemplary family man. By the way, it is believed that the actor fell in love with Melanie 6 years before he had met her. It was when he saw her in the movie Something Wild. In 1996, the musical Evita was released, where Banderas worked with Madonna. Playing the lead male role in the movie brought Antonio a Golden Globe nomination and $4 million in royalties. By the way, as the singer admitted, she had long been very interested in Antonio. Once Madonna invited him to the premiere of a film in which she appeared, but he brought his wife there. In 1998, the movie The Mask of Zorro was released, which received high reviews from both critics and viewers. To play the role of Alejandro, Antonio spent 4 months training with the Spanish Olympic fencing team, and according to the coach, became a skilled fencer. For this role, the actor received the Audience Award from the European Film Academy and was nominated for a Golden Globe. Antonio Banderas became one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. Besides acting, he also tried his hand at directing. In 1999, his picture Crazy in Alabama was released, starring his wife Melanie Griffith. The movie was not particularly successful, but it became an important part of the actor's career. In the same year, the action-adventure movie The 13th Warrior was released, in which Antonio played the main role.
You could have killed him at will.
Yes?
Why the deception?
Deception is the point. Any fool can calculate strength.
In the same year, together with Woody Harrelson, the actor starred in the sports drama Play It to the Bone and also appeared in the comedy The White River Kid. As his popularity grew, his fees also grew. So for the participation in the movie The Body in 2000, Banderas received $12 million. The following year, Antonio became Angelina Jolie's partner on the set of Original Sin.
Liar! Thief! Yes! Yes! Don't you see? Yes! Don't you see? That you still cannot breathe without you!
The sensual movie confirmed the title of sex symbols attributed to both actors, and even Jolie had to refute the information about the affair with the Spanish macho man. In the same year, Banderas accepted the invitation from Robert Rodriguez to become a part of the adventure comedy action movie Spy Kids. And later, 2 more parts of this picture were released. In 2002, Antonio worked with Salma Hayek again on the set of Frida, and also plays the main role in the Franco-Swiss movie Femme Fatale. The movie of the same year, Ballistic: X for Sever, was not a very successful experience. The picture received low ratings. In 2003, a couple of movies with the participation of the Spanish Macho Man were released. At the end of the summer, the sequel to Desperado, The Musician's Story, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, premiered, and in the fall, the drama Imagining Argentina was released. On TV, Banderas played the role of the revolutionary Pancho Villa in the HBO film of the same name. By the way, he received the Emmy and Golden Globe nominations for this role. In 2004, Antonio Banderas voiced Puss in Boots in the animated film Shrek 2. The audience extremely loved the charming and hot-tempered Puss in Boots, who became an integral part of subsequent films about Shrek, both full-length and short. By the way, with his sword, Puss in Boots carves the letter P on a tree with 3 swings, which is clearly a reference to Zorro. Interestingly, a year after the release of the cartoon, Antonio reappears on the screen in the image of Zorro in the movie The Legend of Zorro.
Look, I know what you're thinking, but Elena, listen. No, here is me, here is quitting. We're this far apart.
It should be noted that the hot Spanish Macho Man is not only a wonderful actor, but also a musician. He performs his own vocals in films if they are required. For instance, the song from the movie Desperado became a popular hit.
Soy un hombre muy honrado que me gusta lo mejor.
In 2005, a star was unveiled in honor of Antonio Banderas on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. However, what goes up must come down. Antonio appeared less and less in Class A films, and in the following years, he appeared less frequently on the screen. In 2006, he starred in the drama Take the Lead. The following year, the actor co-stars with Jennifer Lopez in the crime thriller Border Town, and also takes part in the filming of the comedy My Mom's New Boyfriend. In 2008, Banderas played the role of Ralph in the dramatic thriller The Other Man, and together with Morgan Freeman, starred in the crime thriller Thick as Thieves.
Don't even think about it.
Think about what?
Going anywhere near her. I'll rip your heart out, I mean it.
It looks like it's your heart she's not so fond of.
In 2009, the actor underwent surgery for a benign tumor in his back and played in several more movies in the next year. In 2011, a full-length animated picture about Puss in Boots, voiced by the legendary Macho Man, was released, as well as the adventure drama Black Gold. In the same year, the premiere of the film The Skin I Live In took place. The movie became a kind of reunion of the legendary creative duo of Antonio Banderas and Pedro Almodovar. The psychological thriller turned out to be a masterpiece and has received many awards. In 2012, the actor starred in the action movie Haywire and the fantastic comedy Ruby Sparks. In 2013, Banderas once again engaged in voice acting, this time for the cartoon Justin and the Knights of Valor. He also collaborated again with Rodriguez on the set of Machete Kills, and with Almodovar in the comedy I'm So Excited. In 2014, it became public that the wife of the actor, Melanie Griffith, had filed for divorce. The reason she pointed out was that her husband cheated on her with actress Natalie Byrne. They worked together on the set of Expendables 3, but the girl stated that there were no reasons for such accusations, except for Melody's jealousy. The divorce was quite quick and scandalous. The spouses were actively dividing property. They sold the mansion in Los Angeles for $16 million and divided the profits, and also recalculated the income from projects that were implemented during their life together. As a result, Melanie got a house in Aspen and Picasso's painting The Artist and His Model, and Banderas got a pencil drawing by the same artist along with a pencil sketch by Diego Rivera. In addition, the actor agreed to pay Griffith alimony of $780,000 a year. After the divorce, the actor was credited with a variety of relationships, including with Sharon Stone. Now his girlfriend is the Dutch financier Nicole Kempel, who brought regularity and order to Antonio's life. In subsequent years, Antonio was working in a lot of movies. He starred in the action movie Automata and the biographical drama The 33. He also appeared in the drama Knight of Cups, in the Spanish drama Altamira, in the thriller Black Butterfly, and the action movie Security. In 2015, Banderas became interested in fashion and entered the famous British college Central St. Martin's. According to the actor, becoming a designer was his lifelong dream. By the way, in 2016, he collaborated with Selected. The actor was the designer of a portfolio for men. Also in 2017, the films Bullethead, Acts of Vengeance, and the TV show Genius, which tells the story of the legendary Pablo Picasso, were released. For this role, Antonio was nominated for an Emmy and Golden Globe. Shortly before the filming of the show began, the actor had a heart attack. Everything ended well, but Antonio had to seriously revise his lifestyle. He gave up bad habits, began to exercise more often, and monitored his health. In 2018, Antonio starred in the drama Life Itself, and the next year he appeared in the movie Laundromat. He also collaborated with Pedro Almodovar on the set of Pain and Glory, where the actor played the main role. By the way, this work brought Banderas the long-awaited first nomination for the Oscar, as well as the Golden Globe nomination. In 2020, the actor took part in the filming of Dolittle.
I never understood what Lily saw in you. A common complaint the world over for fathers of beloved daughters, but in this instance, I think we can all agree it is particularly accurate.
Now the actor continues to actively play roles in movies. The filming of the comedy drama Official Competition has already been completed. The main roles in the movie are played by Antonio Banderas and Penelope Cruz. For the summer of 2021, the premiere of the comedy action movie with the star cast Hitman's Wife Bodyguard is scheduled. Uncharted, starring Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg, and Antonio Banderas, is due out in February 2022. And in the fall of the same year, we will see the new animated picture about the adventures of the charming Puss in Boots. Filmmakers also announced the biographical drama Dali and the fantastic thriller Solos. In both movies, the actor is assigned the main role. Now the fortune of Antonio Banderas is $50 million. In addition to movies, Banderas has repeatedly been an ambassador of world brands, including Orbit. The audience liked the funny commercial in which the actor conducts a dialogue with a donut. He also starred in a commercial for Police Eyewear. Also, Antonio Banderas and Olga Kurilenko became ambassadors of the advertising campaign for the new paired fragrances Secret Temptation of the Banderas perfume brand. In general, Banderas is actively involved in the business. Since 1997, he has been producing his Antonio Banderas perfume line. There are already 22 fragrances on the market, 13 for men and 9 for women. Antonio personally gets consulted by perfumers and learns the skill of creating new fragrances from them. In addition, since 2009, the actor has been the owner of a vineyard in Spain. He owns 50% of the Anta Banderas winery in Villalba de Duero, which was originally called Anta Bodegas, and produced up to 1.5 million bottles of wine a year, as well as olive oil. Previously, Banderas was the owner of the Posada de Antonio restaurants, but he gave up this business. Also in 2010, he owned the Jack and Jones by Antonio Banderas team that competed in MotoGP motorcycle races in the Moto2 class. Banderas now supports the Malaga Football Club and the Spanish Socialist Workers' Party. Also, the actor is involved in charity work and is a UN Goodwill Ambassador. In 2019, he opened a new theater in his hometown, which is designed to seat more than 800 people. Antonio Banderas also owns various properties. During his marriage to Melanie Griffith, he owned a mansion in the elite historic Los Angeles area of Hancock Park. They originally purchased the mansion for $4.2 million in 1999, then bought the adjacent plot for $1.3 million and included it in the estate. The interior of the mansion is designed in a classical style. During the divorce, the estate was put up for sale, and just 10 days later it was sold for $16 million. Melanie Griffith got the house in Aspen after the divorce. Located in the mountains, the house is filled with light and comfort. Large panoramic windows, an abundance of wood trim, and decorative details make the rooms lively and comfortable. At first, the ex-spouses planned to sell the house for $10 million. Then they leased it, and in the end, they only got $4 million. During the divorce process, Antonio bought out a stake in their New York apartment from Griffith for $4 million. The apartment with the elegant interior is located in a prestigious building. In 2018, the actor put the apartment up for sale, asking for $8 million. In 2014, it was reported that the actor had purchased a penthouse in Malaga. It is said that in the vicinity of Malaga, Torremolinos, and Benalmádena alone, the actor acquired 7 houses and 14 non-residential properties, including a seaport bar and restaurant. It is known that in 2008, the authorities ordered Banderas to demolish part of the estate called the Seagull, located in Marbella, since the house was built by the former owners without obtaining permits. The actor initiated a legal battle. Banderas now lives in England in a mansion in the county of Surrey. The new acquisition cost him 3.1 million euros. The house has huge windows and beam ceilings. It is filled with light, and the actor simply adores the place. He even rides his bicycle in the forest and the surrounding areas. By the way, in the Banderas fleet, besides a bicycle, we can find a Bentley Continental Supersports, Porsche 911, Cabriolet, Audi A7, and even a private jet. What made Antonio Banderas so successful? What do you think? If you like this video, leave a like and also subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss anything interesting.